Welcome back, our timeless listeners. This is Timeless Talk. As always, I am your host, AJ. To my left, I have my co-host, ArmShark.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And today is episode... What are we on? 9 now?
Hump Day.
This is episode 9.
Is Hump Day.
Today is Hump Day, but it is episode 9 of recording. And our topic of the evening is going to be aliens.
Aliens, like, what are they? Are aliens real? Do we... Okay, we want to talk really about aliens. Everything surrounding aliens, really. You know?
So maybe even like, some government, high class facilities that are guarded for some reason.
Right. No, totally, AJ.
There, dude.
Yeah, dude, like, we hear about government facilities all the time that have supposedly alien bodies that they've done autopsies on, and...
Roswell, bro. Roswell.
Look at Roswell,
Mexico,
dude.
And all that shit's going on over there. Like, my question, though, for all that is, why is it so heavily guarded, Why do you have so many people around it? Why are they armed? And why are you threatening people to be shot if they come on the premises?
Or is it a distraction, dude? Something else could totally be going on in those buildings that we don't even know about, and they're just pretending that, it's aliens, extraterrestrial beings. For all we know, they're just deep sea creatures that we've never even seen before, and they're just putting it on a table saying it's an alien.
That's true. No,
we don't really know, dude. I mean, there's parts of the ocean we've never discovered. We've already realized that NASA astronaut outfits look like deep sea diver scuba gear. I mean, these facilities that supposedly have alien, these facilities, dude, they can just be big cover-ups for their UFO crafts that we're creating. We had the UFO technology back from the Hitler time. They invented UFO flying crafts. I mean,
there's a lot of weird shit going on. No, and I agree with you. I feel like our government might have discovered aliens a long time ago. But let's just go ahead and dive into this real quick first. So what do you think, ArmShark? Do you think that there are aliens out there? First of all, we'll start there. We'll start with the basics. Do you even believe in extra?
Man, the whole thing really, the whole Anunnaki, the Anunnaki theory, that whole theory really, honestly...
I never heard of that shit in my life.
You never heard of the Anunnakis?
Never, dude.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know the Anunnaki theory, basically it's about these extraterrestrial beings from another planet, and their planet is slowly becoming destroyed. They realize that there is a precious element or metal. It's called gold, and it comes natural on this great, beautiful planet called Earth. And they look down on Earth, and they see all these dumb cave people with animals and, whatever. You can even say dinosaurs, whatever you want to input in this theory, right?
Yeah.
And they see this planet where it's like, wow, this planet is rich in gold. So basically, the whole basis of this Anunnaki theory is that they're the original, like, godlike creatures that came to this Earth. And
so you think that maybe when they first came, it might have been what the Bible, maybe not the Bible, but maybe what people from the Bible, I should say, because it is in the Bible. Like some of the writers of the Bible, when they describe some angels, do you think they weren't angels and they might have been aliens, or what are you saying exactly?
No, that's a great point. I mean, do you think that they're angels and not aliens, like maybe fallen angels?
I think let me clarify that. Sorry, I totally said that wrong. The angels were the angels, and I want to believe that they were the angels.
Right.
I feel like the beings that they couldn't describe, the ones that looked kind of like, what's the word? Mutated almost. Like they were not from this world, but they knew that they weren't angels. You know what I mean? What if they were the ones that were the demons, that were actual fucking demonic beings that were aliens, that were demons?
And this whole Anunnaki theory is the Anunnaki race is just a demonic race created by fallen angels to basically confuse. I mean, you can relate everything really to the Bible if you get creative enough.
You could, yeah.
But
which is why I thought of it right now. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Like, because it actually falls into a whole different subject about Adam and Eve, the whole conspiracy with, Cain killed Abel, Cain took off and screwed a bunch of other women, had a son named Enoch, and all this other crap going on. And people are like, well, how is it possible that, if Adam and Eve were the first humans, how did he go out and find other humans? It's like, well, as far as I recall,
I heard that theory.
In Genesis, Adam and Eve, where Adam was made in his image, right? In his image. So there doesn't mean that there weren't other Neanderthal-like beings that maybe were human, not Homo sapien, right? Maybe they're just like a human being, but they didn't have the intellect, the
crossbreed shit,
the soul, right? No, it was like the original Neanderthal. So so this is what my theory, the ArmShark theory, is that the day he created animals, those Neanderthals were included on that day. And we don't know how long a day was in God's world. A day could have been millions of years. or thousands or one day, right? But if we have all this carbon dating that we created that says it's millions of years old, let's go with a million years then, right? So he created all these animals and dinosaurs and Neanderthals or cavemen or these human-like beings, and then the fallen angels were like, dude, I want to fuck with this creation. I'm gonna come down and fuck with it and start fucking these little creatures and making these other like
entities
that are gonna look like Adam and Eve, kind of like Homo sapien like. So when he made him in his image, it was in the godlike image of knowledge and all that.
And then they perverted it. Sin
Right.
Really.
Essentially, if you melt gold, it actually heals the Earth's atmosphere, and their atmosphere is close to being deteriorated. The planet that they're from, so they want to basically harvest or rock quarry or excavate all the gold from Earth so they can bring it up to their planet to melt it out to heal their atmosphere. Meanwhile, they don't really care about our atmosphere. That's why most of the agendas out there is about killing Earth. It's not about anything else. So what's interesting about this theory, dude, is that these things are like white giant beings, right? And we know that there was giants, the Nephilims in Genesis or whatever.
Yeah, it talks about it briefly.
Yeah, the Mayans, we're all talking about like these tribal societies, like the first humans, were likely dark, like black people, right? Like, so these Mayans, there's ancient stories of these Mayans praying to some tall, skinny, white, godly dudes, what they call it, which could be these Anunnaki or AKA demonic beings. It makes you wonder, how did Columbus know to sail that way? Because when we were kids, we were taught because he proved the Earth was round. Yeah. And then they quit telling kids that.
That was the motivation behind it.
Right. And then they quit telling kids that because of the whole, maybe the flat Earth thing is why they quit,
I think so. They didn't want to focus too much on just teaching only one way of it. I guess they wanted to expand the idea, I guess, and then see if maybe there was a more believable way to put it out there. Like, maybe I guess what the teachers were trying to say in some cases, and my understanding of it, is that once Columbus, at one point, he did believe the world was flat, right? He was one of the ones that supposedly believed it was flat. And then when he kept sailing and he never hit an end and actually hit land instead of like a barrier, whatever the case was, or his ship didn't just go off a cliff, that it wasn't, that he discovered that it was round at that point, so they started teaching it that way.
And that was the story why Native Americans are called Indians, because he thought it was India. He thought he found a new passage to India. He was proving everyone the world was round, but in reality, he just proved the world is bigger.
Hey, so then how did they establish that it was a new world then, if he thought it was India?
That was the original. So they got back and they were basically saying, dude, we found another part of India where these people are good for the taking.
Oh,
and then he came back, they got more supplies, they realized it was a whole new town.
And a quick sidebar for you guys, let's be real. They didn't really go over there and have food with them, right? And share their crops.
Right, dude. No pilgrims were there. There
was no peaceful deciding.
Watch a documentary on Cuba, and you'll see exactly what the fuck that was all really about.
That's on Netflix right now too, right?
Right.
Shout out to that documentary. I don't know the name of it.
Cuba Libre.
You know, it's called Cuba Libre.
Yeah, it's called Cuba Libre.
Well, shout out to the director of that documentary because it's actually pretty dope. I remember seeing pieces of it as well for myself. But that kind of goes into what you're saying with this. I feel like with this, man, they didn't really show up the way they taught us that they showed up in grade school. Earlier, so they showed up. The pilgrims were all lovingly, hey, we like to share our food with you guys and have a banquet and decide how we're gonna siphon the land and split it up. Hell no, they came in and they fucking killed. And there was blood flowing, man. I think Nas says it in one of his tracks. I think it might have been where he says that this country was paid for in blood and death.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what it was, And I'm paraphrasing for all you Nas fans out there. Forgive me for not naming the song, but I know he does say it in there. And it's towards the end of the song, really, where he says that the origins of our country is blood and death, and it is. Because we came here to a land that wasn't ours.
What's interesting, man?
We fucking killed a bunch of Indians and took their land. That's what happened.
Slavery was a big trait, right? We all know that was a big trade. But it kind of leads into another theory where it's like a lot of the slaves, they could have been the original Native Americans.
Could have been.
The Native Americans we know today could just be a whitewashed 2 or 3 generation version of the original Native American. And they've established, because there's actually museums in Mexico of different levels of whitewashing. So it's just fascinating, because it's like it's pretty fucked up.
It is.
Because if that's the truth, and because if you think about it, like the slaves, they had like their own like beats, their own like tribal type of songs, and people say, oh, they got that from Africa. But then there's other people who are saying, well, the thousands of slaves that supposedly were taken from Africa, where are all the slave ships? And if there's thousands of them being shipped at one time, how would they survive a 6-month journey all on the bottom of the slave ship? You know, they got to poop and pee, they got to eat. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of the story has holes in it on what we're taught. You know, and maybe there's a reason behind it. You know, maybe they don't want us to know. They don't want them to know. You know,
I feel like there's a hole in it for a reason.
Right.
Sure, definitely.
I mean, the whole thing is crazy, dude. But not to get off the subject.
Yeah, let's get back to the subject. No, I see what you're saying. No, it was a good sidebar.
Right.
That stuff for later on.
It's real shit, man.
It's like a good sidebar.
It's shit that's going on today, and it's still relevant today, and it's literally timeless.
Absolutely.
This shit was 100 years ago tw.
Yeah, dude, and it's still happening today. It was happening then, and it's happening now, which is why we're going to discuss it in later topics, because it is a timeless topic, you know?
And I mentioned earlier the whole, few episodes back, the whole rock quarry, that the Earth is a rock quarry. Like, it's basically a big excavation site. And it kind of ties into this whole Anunnaki theory, if you think about it. If there was a race of humans...
Because they were mining for something, and they were using us for it, too, at some point.
And you look at the Grand Canyon, and you look at these big quarry-like excavation zones, you're just thinking... Man, they found like statues and crap in the Grand Canyon. I don't know if you've heard about that.
I didn't hear about that. Wow, I didn't know there was fucking... All I heard about the Grand Canyon, man, is that it was supposedly a river cut into the ground and did that. You know what makes me laugh about that, though? Even if that may be the case, why is that the only river that did that shit? How come other rivers that are normal rivers don't do that? You see how they don't cut down? You see my point with that?
Yeah.
They don't cut down, and they didn't make some gigantic fucking cavern, like...
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think it's funny when people say, oh, but it was just over time the river does that. Really, it's funny because over time these other rivers, like the Nile, never did that shit.
Right.
It's just a random river example, but you guys get my point. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
no, totally. It's a good point, man.
Yeah, dude, like what the fuck? Then why doesn't every river do that? Why doesn't every river after passing through that area for so long start cutting into the earth?
Seriously.
You see where I went with that? Like,
what the heck, dude?
No other river cuts into the earth that way.
The Grand Canyon did. I'm sure that they can, if they really wanted to, they can hire some high-tech scientists to study the dirt and rocks and give you some explanation.
Sure there's some scientific
explanation, yeah. Well, the reason why I have to hear it.
Here's the reason why.
Right.
I can hear, and they'll give me a whole fucking about it, a whole statistic and the whole
I think that was my favorite Brady Bunch episode. Was the Grand Canyon episode?
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen the Brady Bunch?
No, dude. I just heard stories.
Yeah, so this definitely.
I just seen spoofs about it. I never actually.
Dude, the Brady Bunch is actually a really good show, man.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really good story, dude. It's like it's about how true love can really just prevail.
Are you serious? Is that really the theme?
I don't know if that's really the theme, dude.
I just thought about some American white family that had a big fucking...
Yeah, but they had a divorce in an era when divorces were cliche and taboo. So that's what the show's really about.
So
it's about
maybe that's what it was.
The acceptance of divorce.
And it was probably taboo at first, but they were trying to get everyone warmed up to the idea.
Look how happy you can be, and you can move on. It doesn't matter if you have kids.
You got a good point.
We're
getting off tangent though.
That was the agenda, bro.
It was definitely the agenda back then. And look at it now. Divorce is actually accepted now.
Right.
You know, let's get back on the topic though. We got way off.
Right, dude.
So back to aliens, man. What did you?
Well, it's the abductions. How do you answer that? So if aliens are fallen angels per se, all the aliens that we have, then what about the abductions? Or if the government facilities?
Well, my question is this, and then you guys can chime in on this.
Call in anytime. Timeless Talk 213-200-0036. Leave a voicemail. Every call is screened.
In case you guys are wondering, since this, I'm actually going to go off what ArmShark just said. Since we're not a live show, when we say call in, we're not saying call in because we're going live. We're saying call in and leave us a voicemail so we can go over it in the next show.
Right.
It's a new segment we decided.
And if you have a fresh idea or you want to be a guest on our show, then call in and leave a voicemail.
Yeah, let us know. We'll stay in contact with you. That number's there for a reason. That you can call at any time. Leave a voicemail if we don't answer, and we'll definitely get back to you within 24 hours.
213-200-0036. Timeless Talk.
Yeah, because I feel like we're gonna take this time right now to just promote again that we are trying to involve you guys in the process, and we kind of lost track of that the past few episodes. So if you got any ideas and anything you want to talk to us about, anything you want to challenge us on, call us. Let us know, and we'll discuss it the very next episode after that episode prior. You guys know what I'm trying to say.
It can't be timeless without the listeners.
Absolutely, you guys are crucial to our success. So
you think these abductions are from some CIA pedos?
Oh god, here we go with this. I don't even know what are you saying pedophilia,
yes,
pedophiles,
man.
or
you haven't heard this theory before?
No, I have not heard it.
So we already know that alien or UFO aircraft technology is out there. So the question is, what about all these abductions? There's people that swear they've gotten probes up their ass. There's people that there's people that will swear by this crap. They've actually found like metals in people's faces implanted with no surgical implants, and the metal is not defined on this planet. Okay? First off, that can all be CIA. That can all be some sort of technology that we have. That's nothing new. So it just makes you wonder, these abductions, I'm not dismissing the fact that these abductions are happening. I believe it. These abductions are happening. Yeah. The question now is that are they happening just from homeland people? Like from us?
Because that's the thing, like I agree, like, and even if supposedly these things were a hoax, then why would someone go through all the trouble of putting something in their face? Why would they go to surgery to prove their point? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I think
so many people,
too.
Different walks of life.
I get it. There's crazy people in this world, but I don't know anybody crazy enough to go to that extent to make it believable. Maybe there is someone out there. But yeah, no, I don't think that everybody that's claiming that they got abducted is full of shit. They didn't really get abducted. Not everybody's that insane. Yes, there's insane people out there, but I don't think everybody's on the same page of being insane when it comes to the abductions, and that they would really go out of their way to surgically implant some shit in their skin to make someone believe a lie.
Right.
I don't think someone would go to that extent. But I kind of got off topic because when ArmShark made that good point about us, having you guys call in, where I was going with that before we went off on a sidebar real quick was, I want your guys' perspective, because there's two perspectives here. There's one for the believer, meaning the person that believes in God, and then there's one for the person that is an atheist. And so these to both groups, I ask this: what is their purpose then? If these aliens exist, then why are they here? Why do they have why do they exist outside of our world? The atheists, I'm guessing, would say, well, they can coexist with us just like other species do. Why can't they coexist with us? Now, for the believer in God, like ArmShark and I, let me ask you this, and ArmShark, I'm asking you this as well because this is my thoughts on the matter. Why do you think God created aliens then? If you do believe in the Creator, do believe in God, what is their purpose? We know what our purpose is.
So that's assuming that you believe in God and aliens.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So assuming that you believe in God and aliens, and that God created aliens just as much as He created us, what did He create them for then? What's their purpose?
Right. What would their purpose? That's something you have to ask God.
Well, I didn't mean like...
No,
I was asking you, like, I was just saying, what do you think they were made for? Sorry, I should have rephrased that. Yeah, what do you think? I'm asking you,
I get you. No, I get what you're asking, man. I'm just saying, like, man, I would have no purpose for an alien. I don't know what they do or what... there's a bunch of, crap going around.
I'm going to edit out what I say.
Okay, yeah, no, there's a bunch of stuff going around online about Gaia.com. You seen that? Gaia thing, GIA. I'm not trying to give them a plug. It's just they're basically saying that, all these aliens are real and they got all these answers, and there's these Antarctic beings that are underground that are now telepathically meditating to help society become peaceful, and all this stuff is going on, but a lot of that stuff, I could not answer that question because I don't believe necessarily that aliens are necessarily real. I think maybe there's angels and there's fallen angels. Yeah. And I think it kind of stops there. I don't know. I don't think there's enough evidence to convince me either way. So I choose not to really have a real belief about aliens. I believe in UFOs. Same here. Well, then who's controlling the UFOs then? The government? Right. Well, that's unidentified flying object. That's all it stands for. Yeah, it can just be an unidentified flying object.
Good point. It doesn't have to be necessarily piloted. I can't talk to that.
Or a government-owned aircraft that they created for war.
No, you're right. It doesn't necessarily need to be it doesn't need to be a piloted.
Right. I'm not doubting they got abducted, but maybe you got abducted by some military officials that need to run tests on a human being, and you were the best for the picking, bro.
And maybe you felt distorted and disoriented. That's the word. Not distorted. You felt disoriented because they did something to you. They could have easily medicated you to where you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
They put a butt plug in you,
and
it made you.
And
squeal.
then maybe you saw some shit because you were hallucinating. They might have given you a hallucinogen, or it was the masks that they're wearing. Right, they were working on you, and you were disoriented, so you just saw illusions and shit.
But in addition, dude, they're playing on it. If this is fake, then they're making it look like it's alien. They probably got a whole fucking alien. This is what's
two different things. It could be the conspiracy, whether it's the real life fucking separate race out there, species, or it is the government, just like you said, doing it on purpose to try and manipulate us. They want us to believe in aliens.
They started inputting alien stuff into our media back in the 50s. Started giving us the idea of afterlife. That's what really it's just been building from there.
Yeah.
But
that's another topic I want to. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there.
Yeah.
Afterlife. Eventually, that's gonna be one of our future topics as well. For obviously us believers, we believe in an afterlife, but what do you guys think it would be like? If you could, what do you think?
When I was younger, as sick as this sounded, the afterlife to me was like a place where you can do whatever you want, and everything is happy and everything is great, but you can
Your
still
perspective on it, yeah.
you can still do like quote unquote what this world considered bad, but in the afterlife it's not bad. So an example, hey, let's go shoot him in the head. You shoot someone in the head, and then the person turns around and goes, "You guy," and then all of a sudden their wound just heals like that. Let me jump off this building. You jump off the building and you splatter, and then you just come like a cartoon almost. You know what I mean? It's like it's the earth, but you can fly. You can do whatever you want. That's heaven.
It's interesting.
And it's like, yeah, it may sound evil to some people, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you have free will on earth, you can do those things on earth. Why not do them in heaven only with no repercussion,
That's
right?
The thing too, yeah. And I feel like heaven, you're still gonna have your free will intact because you're there by choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meaning you lived a certain way that God wanted you to live, so you're there for a reason, right? Meaning, so I don't think He would strip you of your free will. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other topic. Sorry, guys. I wanted to throw that out there because I know ArmShark has a good insight on that. We'll save that for another episode. But back to aliens. See, I love how this topic just brings out
it does,
all this other great
because
stuff,
Dude, aliens are interesting, bro, because look at Futurama.
Oh, dude.
I
love that show.
And if aliens were real and there's so many different planets where all these aliens and different species, we would be living like Futurama. So the reason why I'm on the fence...
That's a great fucking example.
Dude, the reason why I'm on the fence is because it's possible that Futurama reality is right around the corner. And it's possible that the powers at be are keeping all the alien life at bay at this time, and they're not going to let anybody in until it's like a certain time where we can handle it or something.
Shit, man, for all you know, you never these like top high clearance, super classified units in the world, and in deep these probably tie-ins with the FBI and these recruits we don't know anything about, these black ops, so to say. There's probably you guys are probably gonna laugh if you're fans of Men in Black, but what if that really existed?
Yeah,
where there was a branch of government or a branch of, I wouldn't even say that, like a black ops, like I said, like kind of like an undercover force that works with these aliens that try to come into our universe, or at least, into our planet, and they kind of just like they were almost like ICE. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
But for aliens, not for
aliens.
for actual aliens. Not like, I know this is an idea obviously that exists. I'm pretty much talking about Men in Black. But what if they existed, bro? Was that really so far fetched that can't?
I don't
exist?
think it's far fetched.
Yeah,
I mean, in the event that these things are real and there's a government building holding these things secretive, we clearly
have
a law enforcement for it for sure.
Yeah, so it would be like Men in Black, pretty much, of course. Because what if something like that gets out of line?
Check out this theory, AJ. So the human experience is for sale, and these planets that have different species of aliens, the only way they can experience human life is either through the eyes of an insect or bug or through a sea creature. So each planet, depending on, dude. So let's say there's this alien planet. Yeah, I had this theory, man. Like this is let's say there's this alien planet, right? Okay. And the alien planet has different social classes, kind of like us. And the aliens could just be gray, so they can look however they want. And there's different social classes within them. So like the higher social class ones, they can be like dolphins and fucking whales, like the same species. You could be a mammal, you know what I mean? But the lower ones, maybe an octopus or a fish, depending on how you are in totem pole, that's the life you're going to experience. That's why they only live for 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a big reality show. Was another theory I had because I took too much, that allergy medication. What is it, Benadryl or something?
Yeah, Benadryl.
Yeah, that active ingredient that they use in meth. So I heard about that, dude, when I was...
That's a real thing, man.
It's a real thing. When I was living in Oregon, I heard about this active ingredient. I'm like, wait a second. So I bought a whole case, and I just took like 14 pills.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it was probably like the most insane feeling because I was in my room, and every little laser coming from... I remember I had a PS2. It had a green laser and a red laser. I had a TV with a red laser. I had an alarm clock, had another red laser. There was a smoke detector, had like a yellow laser. I'm just talking about little lights. And it hit me. I'm like, are these fucking cameras? Are aliens from outer space watching me? Am I a reality show to these fuckers? It's just like all of a sudden the beams started shooting out at me. Dude, and I couldn't sleep. I was like, what the hell? I can hear the beams, dude. So I had to turn off and put electric tape over every single one of those little lights, just to like block it out. And to this day, I don't want technology in my room at all. And there's actually a book of you
can actually hear. You can
hear technology, dude. If you study feng shui, and feng shui, it says you should not sleep with technology in your room, bro. You shouldn't work in the same room that you're going to bed in. It's like one of those things where your room should be a peaceful place.
I actually respect that. That's actually, you told me about this before.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to ArmShark's new condo. He's a very nice one. I'm not going to disclose where it's at.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to disclose where it's at, but it's a very, very nice spot.
It's that white privilege.
That's a big thing. So y'all, we're going to live in Southern California. You know where Pleasantville is. We're just going to call it that. But anyway, he's blessed enough to have a nice condo there, right? So I come over and I see ArmShark's place. It's got a very nice. He's got very put together well. And then I go into his room and I notice that he has nothing in there, but except for I don't even think you have an alarm clock in there, do you?
No, dude. No
Not
alarm
even
clocks.
that. Not even an alarm clock. Shit.
I just wake up natural.
That's it. See, and it's like I loved how you had it set up, bro. You had like a very nice, relaxing painting on the wall. I think it was like
the ocean painting.
The ocean. There you go.
Very
Beautiful,
soothing.
man. Very soothing. Very soothing
Thanks,
in there.
man.
Nice, And that's it. His bed, clothes,
right.
His pair of slippers on the floor. Him and Golnar. That's it.
Right.
Shit, I'll cut that out. Sorry.
Pair of slippers on the floor.
Pair of slippers on the floor, and it just looked very comfortable, man. It was very vibey in there, and it was just very relaxing in there. And then you didn't hear no hums. You didn't hear no hums of like because like you said, your electronics, you'll hear little background noises. You guys know what I'm talking about. No frequencies being given off, no heat radiating off these devices. So you have a very, very solid point. I don't have that going on in my room, unfortunately, because I got roommates.
Well, if you have a studio or you live by yourself, it's gonna be really hard to create this. But you can get creative, man. I used to live in a studio. You can put up little dividers.
You can, but that's what I'm saying. My point exactly to you by saying all this was that, guys, he knows firsthand. This is not just some theory that ArmShark heard about and forgot about. He actually put it into actuality in his life. And you tell me how you feel. You sleep. I'm sure you sleep a lot better.
Oh,
right?
dude, I sleep like a baby.
What do you think it is, though? How does it affect our sleep? You think? What do you think? It's just like.
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. What is it? Why is it light?
Maybe it's some shit going on we can't see.
There's technology. I think computers have like an internal artificial intelligence that's deeper than we understand. I think they can develop a conscience. Because I've actually threatened computers before to work, or I'm going to destroy them, and they started working. And I've shown computers what I've done. I've smashed monitors in front of other computers, and they've act differently. If the computer has speed. Dude, I'm telling you, man.
It's funny, man.
Right, it's funny, but there's...
No, that's probably some real shit, though. That's never happened to me before, but... Wait. Were you trying to send a message? Just trying to scare the fucking computer? Like...
Yeah, it's the other laptop. Like, listen, fucker. You see this little guy? I pull him out. Dude, it reminded me of the bodybuilding magazine, actually. I used to write that. I have this little sidebar story. When I used to live in Oregon,
Let's hear this.
I lived in this town where there wasn't like, a lot of people there, and I was sharing a house, and it was like these two like kind of overweight guys, and one was like this really good goer, church guy, saint for church. This other guy was like this bouncer. It was really like living with good and evil, right? Yeah. Anyways, man, it just reminded me of freaking. They had this badass dog. His name was Stetson. He was like big and tall and like looked like a Great Dane, but
he wasn't a Great Dane.
Yeah, dude. So there. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this story, man. This story is what were we talking about again?
Oh, you gotta be shitting me, dude. You're talking about the magazines, some bodybuilding magazines.
Oh yeah, there's bodybuilding magazines inside the bathroom. Okay, and these two dudes were sharing this bathroom. They both had girlfriends and stuff. There's nothing going on. I just thought it was interesting that they had bodybuilding magazines next to the toilet. I'm talking about like 30 or 40. I'm not talking about one or two. And like, these guys are straight on fat dudes.
So the entire pile in there. I would assume they read these while they're taking a shit, because why else would they have right next to the toilet?
Right. And the bouncer was pretty straightforward, tattoo dude. Had a dog, worked on motorcycles. He was a bouncer.
I'm wondering if it was both their tattoos. I mean, tattoos. I wonder if it was both their magazines.
No, I think it was the other dude. His girlfriend used to come over, and she used to give me some vibes, bro. Like she knew something was up with her boyfriend.
Was she looking for satisfaction from you because she wasn't getting it somewhere else?
Possibly, but I was not interested.
Starting to sound like, man.
I was not interested, dude.
No.
But yeah, this actually kind of falls into a really big pet peeve of mine, dude. Why are they having bodybuilding magazines next to their toilet?
I don't know. Why didn't you ask them? They were your fucking roommates, man.
I did, dude.
And what was their explanation?
Just like, oh man, it's gonna motivate me to work out someday, or something, dude.
Okay, man. But if you keep eating fried chicken and bullshit, your body's not gonna lose any weight. You're gonna break even every time. Working out's gonna be pointless.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I spent so much time cleaning out this bathroom in the garage, and then all of a sudden they wanted to use it after I cleaned it all out. It's like, all right, you fools been living here for 2 years now, man, and you never used this bathroom once. All of a sudden I move in. Dude, and then they slapped me with this cable bill, this internet bill, and I wasn't even using the internet with them. I didn't have a computer, dude. Fuck? Right. So that's when I got the computer. That's right. That's why I was bringing this up, dude. I got the computer. I had a monitor. The thing broke or something. Okay, let me be straight with you. There's a CIA operative. I was working at a bank, and this guy supposedly worked for the CIA. He came to me one day, wanted me to input a USB card into my computer at work while I was working as a banker. I was like, no, bro. He's like, just take it. Do it when you can. I swear to you. I went on a ride with him just to humor him. I thought I was humoring him. This guy, I don't know. He was a little out there. But anyways, I put it into my computer at home. I had bought this $100 Goodwill computer.
Yeah.
It fried it, dude. So I ended up borrowing someone's laptop, and I threatened the laptop when I started smashing the computer. And it's an old school monitor. I smashed the monitor, dude. And I spilled.
Oh, okay, so now this all ties in now.
Right,
so
right,
makes sense now.
yeah.
Okay.
And the computer was scared. It started working like a champ, dude, because it knew I wasn't the owner. It knew it was being borrowed out. Like, you could tell the way it was behaving.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it was like, it wanted to be a little bitch. It just quit working. It's like, oh! It just, the computer stopped working. So I turned it off a hammer, and I looked at that fucking laptop, and I smashed the old monitor with a hammer, and I said, you're next. And the internet started working like a charm, dude. I had porn going. Dude, I was a fucking champ that night. But you know what, dude? I might have got a minor case of mercury poisoning that was seeping through that monitor, dude. It got weird. I woke up like in a weird, like, warm sweat in the middle of the night. My sheets were like stuck to I had an air mattress, and it was like stuck to the air mattress, just like not moving. And I was like, everything felt weird, like this weird, like hazy shit in the air. And I looked, all I can see is the monitor just staring at me with a little like fumes coming out of the monitor. I was like, oh fuck! Dude, I threw it outside right away, man. I was like,
really?
My roommate's like, what's going on up there? What are you doing with the hammer? I was like, fuck, man, I'm just fuck. You're like, you owe us for internet. You used it tonight. You owe us $20. Like, I used it for 5 minutes.
What the
fuck? I go to an internet cafe. Damn it.
Internet cafes out there?
No, man. There was no internet. They had a Walmart. But with all respect, dude, towns that have less than 10,000 people that had a Walmart, the industry has shut down, and Walmart's where you go. Even at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, you want to pick up girls, you go to Walmart.
What the
fuck? That's what they did, man. There was one bar in town, and there's Walmart.
So did you ever pick up a girl from Walmart?
No, I have not.
Okay, I haven't either, man. Real quick, though, before we get off, I want to respond to your story with...
Okay.
For some of our listeners, I'm sure they're gonna hear what you just said, and they're gonna think you threatened an inanimate object with another inanimate object, and you're like, okay, he just got lucky, that's why I started working. But I challenge it with this. Why is it that after he's done using this inanimate object that was working great the whole night, he goes to sleep, right? Leaves it open. Was the computer off or on?
I don't remember. It's probably off.
Okay. That makes it even more fucking weird. It was off, and all of a sudden decides to start seeping something out of the screen?
No, the damaged computer was seeping.
Oh.
The mercury shit,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? There's actually a religion out there. You can look it up.
Oh, God. Here we go.
No, seriously, that inanimate objects have souls.
And actually are real. Yeah.
And actually are
you
real.
Know what? That's not so crazy, because I remember the first time I heard this weird-ass theory was with... when I was watching a movie, Will Smith, great one, by the way, I, Robot, remember that movie?
Yeah.
And there was a scene where that guy, that weird dude, that one that died, remember when he's trying to figure out the death, how that guy, the old man, got killed or whatever?
Right.
Why he committed suicide?
Yeah.
He committed suicide, but he's trying to figure out why.
Right.
Spoilers, for those who haven't seen I, Robot, it's an old movie. I don't
Yeah.
feel bad about spoiling that for you, but
Right.
anyway, you get it. The old man that created these robots, right, had the idea for robots, he committed suicide, and Will Smith's trying to figure out why. And there's a scene where he unveils a video, right? A video explaining some things. And he talks about a theory, and he asks the question, "Why have you guys ever?" And I'm gonna paraphrase, I don't know it line for line, but he says something like, "You ever wondered why you'll put a bunch of electronics in a closet, whether it be a vacuum and some other electronic equipment, why it all bunches up together? Somehow, some way, even if you put them, you put them in a closed closet together, right?
No.
And you spread them out. Supposedly they all end up together
hell
again.
up.
I swear, dude, that's what he says in the movie. I'm not saying that's ever happened, but
Have you tried that?
I never tried it. I kind of want to now, though.
No, I kind of want to too, because that happens with cords.
You see what I'm saying?
We all know it happens with cords. Like, you have like 4 or 5 cords.
You see why I bring this up? Because
Yeah.
supposedly these inanimate these inanimate objects can do that. They group with each other.
It's interesting.
So supposedly they have souls, and that they don't want to be alone, and they don't like being in the dark, and supposedly that's why they all grouped with each other.
Right, people.
You guys think I'm full of shit? Go watch the movie. There's a scene.
People want to dismiss reincarnation, but you know what? There's a lot of evidence that points to reincarnation as being a tangible result of afterlife. And you talked about afterlife a little bit, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there could be different stages of life. You start off as an insect, and you go in as a animal, then as a human, and then maybe if you fuck it up, you got to start over. Maybe you get turned into a fucking tree. Or a piece of furniture, and you're stuck for hundreds of years, just bored as fuck.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of ideas thrown out there, but it's almost like the Flintstone theory, dude. You've heard of the Flintstone theory.
No, I haven't. What is it?
Well, you've heard of the Flintstones, I hope, or
Yeah, I've heard of them.
I guess I'm dating myself, dude, with these millennials.
Oh gosh, shut the fuck up. I know what the fucking Flintstones is, man.
Okay, well, you know, they live in a rock quarry. Their
Yes.
job is as a rock quarry.
Okay. So
You know,
saying, yeah.
and they use dinosaurs. They live with dinosaurs. You know,
So you were saying that they're from the future and they're not really from the past.
yeah, that theory. Yeah,
That theory.
that's actually
Okay, I've heard this theory.
post-apocalyptic
Yeah,
theory,
yeah.
where and then the Jetsons are actually before.
They reverted to that because this is what happened. Yeah, the
Right.
apocalypse happened. I've heard this theory before.
And the Jetsons live up high, kind of like Futurama, because the world's so polluted,
Mm-hmm.
and then they end up destroying their world up high, so they go back below again.
and
And it's
that's
just
what it's down there. It's just fuck shit. Like a bunch of, like you said, rock quarries. Wasteland, really.
Wasteland.
essentially is what it is, you know?
And what's interesting too is because it kind of supports that whole thing that, you know, they found like old Mayan or South American tribal societies. They found these little blankets that have little triceratops that are sewed into the blanket. And, you know, these blankets are dated thousands of years ago. So,
Well, yeah, they claim that the dinosaurs were here 365 million years ago, but you're right, not at the same time as humans. So that kind of makes sense. Like, why you're saying, what if these animals were around? Well, what I got from that was, what if these animals were around a lot longer than we were told they were?
right.
You get what I'm saying?
And they were more friendly as opposed to like mean and vicious. They were more like human helpers.
Yeah,
like,
no,
how would this society know what a triceratops looks like? Are we supposed to assume that they also excavated for bones and they built the structure to see what it looks like? Sure, we can assume that, right? So they found fossils also. They were also archaeologists 10,000 years ago. And they found these fossils and they built it. And then the women were like, oh, I'm going to sew a little blanket for my kid off of that fossil because kids really dig this. Or there was just triceratops that were around helping people fucking move shit around.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And you know what's interesting
Yeah, you
that supports
explain
this
that.
theory, AJ?
What?
Is that there's actually some new evidence where they found some fossilized skin. And on the skin, right off the bat, this evidence already debunks the million-year theories because skin will fossilize only for so long before it disintegrates. So the fact that they found it, and this is based on their carbon dating
And
system.
the fact that they found it preserved.
The fact that they found it preserved shows that A, it's not millions of years old, you know, or B, oh, there's a glitch in our carbon dating system, or hey, we found out a new way of how they are preserved so long. Whatever they want to make it a story about. But anyways, it has circular patterns on this fossilized skin. So we're also supposed to assume that the 10,000-year-old people that lived back then also found fossilized skin that had circular patterns to draw circular patterns or sew circular patterns on a blanket. All that had to have happened just to support this millions of year theory.
You got
Or we could just be like the Flintstones. It's fucking there, man.
It is there. No, the thing is, people don't even want it to be. They don't want to.
They don't like
don't.
like
Yeah.
Jetsons. They don't like what? What's his name again, dude? The dog in Jetson?
I don't fucking remember, man. I forgot.
Dude,
He's
you
a little gray dog, right? Gray and white one.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, a little gray and white.
Look it up, man. You got a computer in front of you. All right, so look,
Delete all that. Whatever the searching.
All right, of course.
It's like Astro, dude.
Astro. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
All right. Anyway, what I want to talk about real quick before we wrap it up. We got a few minutes left. I want to talk about Roswell a little bit more.
Yeah, Roswell's interesting.
Or if not Roswell, you know what? No, fuck Roswell. I'm thinking of Area 51.
Area 51.
That's not the same place, is it?
You know what? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. We'll double check that in a second. But I feel like, I don't know, it just bothers me that the facility like that is so heavily guarded. And like you said earlier, maybe it is because they want us to believe there is something there like that really isn't there. But why is it so? What's going on there if it's not aliens, which I'm pretty sure, I have a feeling it is. If it is aliens, what the hell are they trying to cover or hide from us?
Universal Soldier.
That you have to kill somebody or kill anybody that trespasses on that property. Where they've warned you everywhere, right there in plain sight. Violators of you trespass. No, not violators. Excuse me. Trespassers will be shot, possibly killed.
Right.
Right there in the sign, dude. They're not even flinching about it. There's a car drives around the premises on the outskirts. Fool's probably locked and loaded with a P90 or maybe even an AR-15.
Right.
Ready to kill whoever tries to cross the line, man.
Right.
Why though? Why all that for what? What do you not want getting out? That's my question. What's so devastatingly crazy?
Don't get me wrong, dude. I'm pro-government, dude. Like, I believe in the government, and, you know, I think they have a right to their secrets. I really do. I mean, not all information is for the masses. But yeah, AJ, you bring up a great point because are you really hiding the fact that there's alien secrets, or are you hiding something else? You know, Area 51's in Nevada.
You bring a good point, though.
Roswell's in New Mexico. There are two different areas. One of those areas used to be an atomic bomb site. right?
Shit,
that was like it was like a fake city they made to test the bomb in, and then they created. I think that was Roswell. I'm not sure exactly.
I think it was Roswell. No, that one was Roswell. The bombing site was Roswell, New Mexico.
Area 51 is more of the alien Air Force base. You know, but either one, you're shot dead if you go there, you're shot dead. Period.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. And that's my thing. Like, you made a good point though. Right now, you made a really solid point. Like, maybe they are entitled to their secrets, but it's just like there's just so many weird.
Are they,
things.
AJ?
Oh, now you're gonna go back on me, or what? You're gonna
I want you to question the fact that you're flipping your thoughts right now.
I'm not flipping my thoughts. I still think it's shady shit. Bohemian Grove. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's another weird fucking conspiracy. Who's gonna go worship and burn shit in front of a 40-foot stone owl in Northern California?
It's baby steps, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
You gotta slowly wet your feet. First, you're gonna burn this little sticks and shit, just to practice, and then you're gonna be ready for the big owl, dude. The big sacrifice.
That shit's weird, man. We're gonna save that for. I believe we talked about that in a past episode, man. Actually,
we did.
Bohemian Grove, yeah. So,
we touched on it a little bit. I mean,
we mentioned it. We didn't really full on talk about it, but we
right.
mentioned it, and that's another place that I feel is just a lot of weird shit going on. Doesn't necessarily have to do with aliens, but
well, what we do know is that the human trafficking is a serious issue. It's so serious that Ashton Kutcher dedicates his life. He has like a nonprofit society trying to help people from human trafficking. You know, they're cracking down on all the online prostitution, all in efforts to stop human trafficking. This is all Trump that's doing all this.
Yeah.
You know, and if you look, there's like a lot of sites that have been shut down that support this kind of thing. So it's just interesting. So what's interesting about the human trafficking thing in relations to UFO is that basically, you know, if these abductions are happening and some people are getting abducted and they're never being seen again, you know, this could be just another funnel, another outlet. Because think about it, if you're a marketer...
Well, no, we kind of mentioned that earlier, that it might not be ran by aliens. It might just be us, our government, doing that shit to the people. Like you said, like we mentioned earlier, the UFO doesn't necessarily have to be a piloted craft. It could just be some weird shit in the sky, like you said, or it could be a fucking government issued plane or government issued fucking saucer or ship or device that hasn't been revealed to us, and that's for a reason.
What made me interested really about this whole thing, well, there's are glitches. Sometimes you notice glitches. I wanted to talk about this. We talked about distorted reality. So the Pluto theory is based on the fact that the Truman Show is not as fake as we think it is, because it's possible this whole Earth in existence, like Elon Musk has the simulated theory, this whole existence is inside Pluto. Pluto is a big giant planet, and inside the planet is Earth. And it's a controlled environment that Plutonians are just watching us and studying us, and they're trying to recreate the original Earth that got destroyed.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. So that's why sometimes there's glitches and shit, because like the first layer of Pluto...
So you think that's what deja vu is?
It's possible.
It's like some Matrix shit around the Matrix. They said that the glitches, or whenever you see deja vu, there was a glitch in the system.
Right, so the agents can come in.
Yeah.
And then the real, or humans itself, have been taken over by a race, and they're just basically using them for their fluids. So they figured out how to grow humans. This reality is not too far off, dude. It's not. You know, and what's funny about the simulation theory, AJ, is that, okay, you got these scientists now that are basically saying there's God, but it's just a computer program. It's like, well, so who made the computer program?
Yeah.
So the basis of the simulation theory, for those of you who don't know, is that the basis of this, these are the founder of Tesla, founder of Solar City. I think we talked about this before.
We did.
Right? You know, this guy basically is saying that if humans can create a reality that's just like ours, you know, Grand Theft Auto, all these Sims, video games, right?
Yeah, is it so far-fetched that maybe that's the case here?
Right. Is it so far-fetched to think that maybe someone can create what we're experiencing?
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
You know what, the similar
it's
thing...
God.
You know, it's God.
The tetrahedron.
Oh, God. You talk about that guy, man.
No, what were you saying, though?
But it's similar. It kind of goes back to when I was talking about Men in Black, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that movie ends?
I do a little bit. Remind the listeners, dude.
Do you guys? Yeah, I'm sure you guys. And for the listeners and for people who haven't seen that movie yet, I don't know. You're living under a fucking rock because shit, that thing's old. In the movie, you said something like, you know, they were trying to. They had our world essentially in a smaller. And they were looking into it pretty much, right? It made me think of it. Maybe it doesn't relate exactly.
Okay. I do remember that at the end of Matrix, they were doing that, like marbles.
No, it wasn't Matrix. It was Men in Black.
Oh, Men in Black. That's right.
It was Men in Black. Yeah. At the end of Men in Black, remember the two aliens are playing. They're shooting marbles. They're playing a game. And because it zooms out, it shows Will Smith, his new partner, and then it zooms out, it goes into space, goes into the galaxy, goes even further past the galaxy, and then it comes out of a marble.
Right.
Remember that? And they're playing marbles with it, and then when one alien loses, the other one gathers the marble, opens his sack, drops it in there, and he has a bunch of other identical marbles with different universes all in there, and he closes the bag.
Yeah.
The movie ends. I thought that was kind of weird, crazy.
That is pretty cool.
It's similar though. You see
It
what I'm
is.
saying? It's kind of like the world is so small. Our world is so small compared to the whatever they're saying, whatever they're trying to sell us on that, is the universe, or the size of it. We get what I'm trying to say.
Right, I do.
All right, well, I'm going to end it there. We're running out of time. So before we go, though, I want to ask ArmShark, do you have a proverb you want to share this time, man?
Well, people are prisoners of their phones. That's why they're called cell phones.
Oh, God.
That's not really mine, dude. That's just some bullshit meme I got. But an original thought, dude, and this kind of goes in with the marbles that you're talking about. Take all the felines out there, all the canines out there, all the different types of species.
Who the fuck do you think listens to our podcast, man?
Listen, bro, if we don't have we have an animal assigned to us through our zodiac, so that could be a past life where now we're living as a human with that animal experience.
I get what you're saying. Because there's a lot of personalities, and people sometimes they look like animals too.
They
That
do.
person looks like a parrot.
What? This bird's
The
out
other
there?
person looks like a bird or
Bro.
a parrot or fucking.
Predators' eyes are closer together.
I know.
Prey's eyes are further apart.
That's another subject we got to
So
hold.
humans-
Hold your tongue, though, 'cause that's actually what I want
Right.
to talk about next week. Let's
That's
stop
a food
it
for
there.
thought, listeners. We want to in on that. Think about that. Predators' eyes are close together. Prey's eyes are far apart. So when you walk in and you feel dominant, look around, dude. You got a bunch of prey around you. And if you feel threatened, there's probably some dude with eyes close together staring at you, freaking eyeballing you. I mean, you think about this. This is actually scientific evidence. This is the animal world,
they could
bro.
either feel threatened, or they
Right.
could feel like.
Right.
They could either feel threatened, or they could feel like.
If this is like offensive to you guys in any way, where animals and reincarnation, for one thing, I do not encourage you to change the channel. I want you to keep listening and keep getting offended. I want you to get mad. The reason being is because that's how you grow. You get upset. You look in the mirror. Why did this upset me? Why am I upset by hearing this? And you just think about it, dude.
Why does this bother me? Yeah.
Right. You can try Dianetics, Scientology. You can try whatever you want to try to figure out what this is, or you can just figure yourself out. Get to know yourself. Well, why does this upset you?
Yeah.
Don't fear leg day. Don't just work on your arms.
Don't feel it. Don't be chicken legs.
Right, dude.
I hear you.
Right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up right there.
Walmart love.
We appreciate you guys.
comic love.
Oh my
Marvel
God.
love.
Where is this coming from right now? Anyway, let me just see.
Okay, we appreciate you guys. We love you.
You are timeless listeners. We love you guys. Again, we're actually proud to announce before we go, we are now on iTunes. You can find us. You can find us in the podcast section if you look us up. Timeless Talk. We are now on there. We're going to upload this new episode on there. We have our first of all of our episodes are on there, leading up to episode 9. Everything is current. Go check us out on iTunes. Again, we're on SoundCloud. We're also on YouTube, but we're getting on everything else. We're working on Spotify. For all you listeners on Spotify and Tidal, we appreciate you guys jumping over to different platforms to hear us for now. But we're working on getting over there. We're going to get there pretty soon. But as of now, like I said, we're on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, and for now, those are the three platforms we're on. Stick with us. We're growing. We're getting there. And again, God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. See you next week.
Peace.